In what appears to be a new front in the war against the Covid-19 pandemic, stigma towards recovered patients is fast becoming a major problem that has attracted the attention of health officials. According to the Health Chief Administrative Secretary Dr. Mercy Mwangangi, as the number of patients recovering from the virus continues to rise, so are the cases of stigma against them by their own communities.
And we need to appeal to you and to remind us all that the only way we can be able to beat this disease is if we avoid issues like stigmatization. Stigmatization will lead to fewer Kenyans accepting to be tested, and it will frustrate the efforts that we are putting on the ground to ensure that we flatten this curve.
A matter that now threatens to undo some of the gains achieved in the fight against the virus. The number of recovered patients now stands at 129 after 5 new patients were discharged today.
In the last 24 hours, we have tested a total of 508 samples from 14 counties. Out of this number, 10 tested positive for coronavirus, and of these, 9 are from Mombasa and 1 from Nairobi. This brings to total 384 total number of positive cases in the country. From the number tested, 284 samples were from Nairobi, while 89 were from Mombasa. All the 9 cases in Mombasa were picked from the community by our disease surveillance teams.
Meanwhile, as the ministry continues to report new cases of Covid-19, it has now emerged that new infections are mostly being transmitted within communities, especially in the informal sectors in Nairobi and Mombasa counties. This may prove a true test for the government owing to the large population of persons living in the slums. According to the Ministry of Health, however, the government will be monitoring such settlements closely, a situation that may lead to tougher measures being put in place to combat the spread of the virus.
And it is important that I emphasize at this point that indeed, from the data that we are synthesizing, we are noting that in the beginning of this scourge, we had most of the cases being imported cases, but right now, the tables have turned and most of our cases are coming from local transmission within our communities.
Now, despite the counties of Nairobi and Mombasa recording the highest number of COVID-19 patients, the government is further calling on other counties to tighten their measures. Jimmy Mbogo, K24, Evening Edition.